Okay, I just started the YouTube feed for about an hour or so. We'll do that.
Can I grind?
All right, so just kind of watching here again. I took the Q SPY super system. The SPY super system applies to the Qs, the IWM, and to the SPY. But I took it right here off the 15 when it bounced off the 15. I took a quick 30 cents on it, and I'm out. SPY's pulling back right now. Again, there's no really any big trend that you can follow. IWM has had the best trend this morning, but again, it's also just kind of flat right now. So just gonna watch. Took my profits in this. I'm out of it now. Done with that. Okay, so again, I took profits in the Qs on the SPY Super System, but I'm not gonna. I just took a quick 30 cents. It went to about 40 or 50 cents, but I took 30 cents and out, and now it's pulling back again. This is just chop here right now. Just chop. SPY. Oops. Let's try if we can do here. SPY pulling back. See, it went right to the pivot point. Pull back, so it's wedged between the VWAP, the 15, and the pivot point. Too much resistance in here to be trading that. CLS looked pretty good this morning. Still looks pretty good. CLS has got above its resistance level, and it looks pretty good. IP also looked pretty nice this morning. It's just kind of compressing now, but a nice setup on IP. All right, looking at MDGL. He says he knows it's not a good option trade, but he has stock. And MDGL broke out. Yeah, I remember this one from last week. Another biotech. Yeah, it certainly did break. This is a nice chart. Again, it's up. Probably not. You can't really trade the options on this thing. I looked at them last week. I was going to do a strangle on it, but see how it's broken above these resistance levels? That's MDGL right there. Apparently that's the all-time high right there. But you'd have to trade stock, and it isn't cheap. $328.31. Nvidia up a nice about $3 today. We're just going to look for some stocks here, looking through scans. Lyft moving up this morning. It's got a little bit of room. Lyft's got a little bit of room to the 200-day moving average, about 50 cents. Twillo's been pretty strong today. Nice move up and then just compression, trying to break out back again now. It's a little extended from the 8, but still a nice setup. All right, just gonna look for some trades, see what I can find. And welcome to everybody who's looking in on YouTube right now. Good morning. A little bit of a slow market here today. A lot of we'll move up and then just kind of move sideways. The indexes are up decently. The IWM's up a little over %. Triple Qs are up only just about a little 0.15%. And SPY right now is actually up just barely anything, 0.04%. Went right off the 50-day moving average, bounced off of it this morning. Q's up, bounced off an algo line, sitting right at horizontal resistance right now. So just kind of watch, look for some stocks, see what I can find to trade. Again, CLS is a nice setup. Twillo is a nice setup. IP is a nice setup for longs. Those are all nice setups for logs. If you're looking for potential shorts, PSTG is one to watch here. Moving down off the daily chart here, PSTG. There it is right there. Watch the daily chart. See yellow and red across the board. Institutions selling it. PSTG. You're going to want it to break below right there. You want it to get below, make sure it stays below 49.90. So we still get about 20 cents to the downside before it breaks down, but I keep it on your radar. PSG for short. Earnings, no earnings till December 4th. LYB also another good short. Specialty chemicals. This thing has been weak for a good long time. LYB, here's LYB right here. Nice short setup in LYB. Doesn't care what the market's doing, just keeps coming in. Just has monthly options in LYB. Doesn't move an awful lot. But the you can actually take the December 85 puts. December 85 puts. They're about 330. Or you could take the 90 puts for about $7, and that's you got about 530 of intrinsic value in that. I like those, the 90 puts. I'm going to take some of those puts on LYB. These are December 15th. I'm sorry, December 20th. December 20th. $90 puts. And should be able to get them for around $6.90. Okay, LYB, short. All right, so I took LYB. I took them short December 20th, $90 puts. All right, so we added LYB to the to our positions. Took the December 20th $90 puts. I want to be in the money on these things. 85s would be slightly in the money, but not by much. But we've got $90 puts, so we've got $5.45 of intrinsic value. That with almost 2 months to go. NVIDIA is showing some strength today, up a little over $3. SMCI is trying to bounce off the bottom here now today, up about 5.5% or so. Again, so I had LYB. I wanted to put a short in. This thing is a pretty nice short, so I'm going to go ahead and hold this one. We've got plenty of time on it. We'll see what we can do, what we can make on it. Netflix still below the algo line here this morning. CLS is doing nicely. It's above this resistance. That's a nice setup. We talked about that last week.
CLS. And see the volume down. They're currently on their conference call. BE and Franklin Resources.
IP also a nice setup here. And Twilio was another nice long setup. Just kind of watching the market. Again, took the LYB short. Market coming in, or SPY's coming in anyway. Back below the VWAP. Triple Qs coming right back down to the VWAP. And IWM heading toward the VWAP. So everything's market getting a little bit weaker right here. See if we have any questions. Doug, giving the potential volatility of the market tomorrow, I'm fine with taking no trades until later in the week. Well, yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Doug, I'll still trade. You know, volatility is they're making assumptions. You're probably going to pay more for options on these things, but we'll see what happens. There's not likely to be a lot of volatility tomorrow. There might be on, you know, if you want to trade the volatility, you wait till Tuesday night, see if there's any decisions, and you can trade the futures. But I'm just going to wait. I won't have an awful lot of stuff on tomorrow, but I'm going to hold what I've got here because the positions we've got these stocks are except for CAPR are set up pretty nicely right now. Terry get filled at 686. Nice job on that one. Very nice. Again, wish that was Terry's talking about the LYB we just took short. Kelvin, hey, how you doing? If Lockheed Martin crosses 100 SMA support, do you think it's a decent short? Yeah, it's got to close below there. I mean, if you look at Raytheon and Lockheed Martin are both shorts. RTX is actually, Raytheon has got some room to the downside to get to the 100-day right now. It's about $3.50 to the downside on RTX. Lockheed Martin is right on the 100. I mean, this thing has been coming down for a good long time, so I don't think I will wait for this thing to confirm that it's going to stay below the 100, at least for a day. Duke way to Alfie. Yeah, Alfie, he's relaxing right now on the back of the couch, where he spends most of his time, looking out the door. He's happy. He had his breakfast. All right, so again, just kind of watching here. Just looking for some support levels on LYB to see where it can go. Probably the next one that's likely is about 8160. Yeah, about 8120. About 8120 to the downside on LYB. Again, welcome to all the folks who are on the coming in on the YouTube to watch for a bit. Again, we're just kind of watching. We just took LYB short here as a swing trade out to December 20th. But other than that, we're looking for. I took a SPY super system trade this morning in the Qs right here off of the 15. Made about 30 cents. Could actually made about 50 cents. And then out. Yeah, very choppy market here this morning. No really good trends to follow at all right now. You have to let the stocks that you take carry the load for you today. SPY moving down. SPY getting pretty weak here now. And IWM also pulling back. So the market's getting a little bit weak here right now. There's this MDGL that Ari was talking about. Biotech, you can't really trade these options. They're very widespread. But the stock is really strong breaking out here right now. And SPY pulling down here. For anybody coming in on YouTube, if you're not familiar with the setup I've got over here, this is Thinkorswim. I don't trade on Thinkorswim, but I use Thinkorswim to install the compass system on here. This is the compass system. These are the indicators that let us know whether the institutions are buying or selling. This is the SPY right here. This is a 5-minute chart. These are the indicators that I use. This is the key ones. Current time frame, multi time frame momentum, current time frame momentum. These two, red and yellow, are short. Blue and green are long or bullish. This is the long-term trend, and this is the derivation of money flow right here. And for the SPY super system, this is the only one I use. Current time frame momentum. If you go back and look at the Qs, when I took that trade, current time frame momentum, I took it right here. You see how this thing was green, bullish. It broke above this pivot point right here and the 15 EMA, which is a little thin line. It broke above it here. I took the trade here. I got out here. I just took $30 a contract profit. Now it's breaking down below the VWAP right now, but very difficult to short the Qs right now because they're green for, well, they just went red for the day. But let's see what they've got on the daily chart. Yeah, they're right down to a what's called an algo line, a support line. So they're close to it. So I'm not going to touch it short. But that's what this is what the compass system tells us. This is the VWAP on the 5-minute. This is the pivot point, which is another resistance level, and this is the 15 EMA right here. This little thin line that's green here and red here follows along. That's basically a smooth 15 EMA for a short-term trend. Right now you can see everything's going yellow and red, so the institution is now selling on the Qs.
I'm seeing a little weakness in markets. We did have a few earlier headlines on the macro side. First coming out from Wall Street Journal.
If you hear the news feed going in the background, I have a trade exchange news feed that I run all day off of a laptop here that I can. They talk about a lot of this stuff, and they also just it's a lot of it's just in chat.
UN envoy telling Security Council that Pyongyang will accelerate a buildup of its nuclear force. We are seeing a little volume downtick in markets following those two headlines.
And remember, on any kind of headlines where you get these moves in stocks, the algos are doing a lot of the trading here. When they see news headlines come out, they optically read those things and they produce buys or sells off of that. So sometimes you get an overreaction initially, but SPY's pretty weak here.
supplemental approval. That's on Amnio, AMRX.
We just kind of watch here for right now. I'm just scanning stocks, looking for some trades. Again, we did just take the LYB short. It's not a fast-moving stock. The stock puts in fairly small candles. It has an ATR and an average true range of about $1.50, so it's not an awful lot. But it's been grinding down. If I look at the daily chart on it, this is LYB right here. So you can see how weak this thing has been. It's been coming down pretty steadily, following the 8. This red line here is the 8 exponential moving average. This is the 15. Candle colors, by the way, if you had noticed, I use red and green, but then the pink is a red candle that has a dynamic, that has a Bollinger Band expanding. In other words, it's breaking out of compression. So if you see pink, it's actually a bearish candle that's also breaking out of compression. If you see blue, it's a bullish candle that's breaking out of compression. That's where the colors come from. But again, that's stronger than than just a red candlestick because of the fact that it's also breaking out of compression. And that's why I like this one short. No earnings till the 7th of February, so we got plenty of time on it. Again, in the room here, we just look for high probability trade setups. We don't try to take any mediocre trades, just high probability trade setups for short-term swings like during one day or overnight or maybe up to a couple of weeks. But most of the trades are over in a few days. And I do have the SPY super system here, which we do off the 5-minute candles. We trade the SPY, the Qs, and the IWM using the compass system to tell us if the institutions are buying or selling, and then we look for specific entries off of like the VWAP or the 15 EMA. We look for specific entries off of support and resistance levels. I mean, this is theoretically a short right here on the Qs, but again, because of the way that it's so close to an algo support line, I'm not going to take it. I did take it long here, but the short right now is actually working pretty nicely. You would have had to take it below the VWAP. You have to wait for it to break below the VWAP and then take it right there. Because everything, you notice how it's gone from green bullish to yellow bearish, and now it's red, so this is very bearish. And again, if you're in the member of the room or alert service, you have access to all the videos I've done. I have videos on all of these, including the SPY super system. Does the compass system work on the web version? You're on the road a lot. If you can, I think it does. I mean, if you can have the TOS platform up there, it's running off the TOS platform. So if you can access the TOS platform, the compass system is built into we load it onto the TOS platform. So I've not used it off of the web, but I'm relatively sure you would be able to do it off the web. Because I mean, basically, it's embedded right into the studies on the Thinkorswim platform.
Anyway, we're all good. We done did it. Done did it. Proud of us.
Gerald, you can check with the tech support, by the way, at Right Line if you want to know 100% for sure. You can talk to them about that. They'll know. Sergio will know that for sure, and so will Charles, most likely, and probably Rory would tell you whether that it works off there. I'm relatively sure it does, but again, I don't run the web version. I'm running an online. I'm running a version on my PC now. I don't trade from Thinkorswim. I just load it up here to use the platform to take to put the compass system on this. Again, the compass system right here showing that the institutions are selling the Qs right now. Also selling the SPYs and selling the IWM. So everything is selling off right now. We're just kind of wait and see where the market goes. I'm not diving into anything else at the moment. We did take LYB short. LYB get in for about 690, trading at 730, up about 40 cents right now in LYB. Got room to about 82.20, to the first minor support level. If we can get $2 additional, if we can get in for 690 and out for 890 today, I'll take it. In fact, I'm going to put a sell order in at 890 on LYB. All right, put a sell order in on LYB for 890 just in case it gets there today. I don't expect it to, but I mean, you never can tell. We could flush. We'll just watch the market here. The IWM's right back to the VWAP, sitting right on it. Q's still selling off a little bit. Nvidia pulling back a little bit, still staying above the VWAP on the 5-minute. Netflix not doing too much at all right now. CLS still looks good. FI still looks good, sitting right on the 8. And IP still looks really nice. All right, just going to look for some trades here. Let me see if we get any questions. Shiv, the text alerts don't seem to be working. Let me take a look here. FI I didn't do. FI was Friday. Let me see if I got it. I just did get the one LYB. And I got the FI on Friday. So if they're not working, you need to let Rory know. Just get the text. You should have got FI on Monday. I'm sorry, on Friday. I got LYB already. 11:29, my original one I got, and then I just got an update to it at 11:52. Check with them, make sure they've got the number right. But if you got LYB, you're live on them. So again, just going to look for some trades here. See if we have any questions over live feed. Nope. Okay. Market pulling back. Again, I got a sell order in at 890 on LYP. Again, I don't expect it to get there today, but I want to have a sell order out there working. Getting to 690, is trading at about 735 right now, 725. SPY below the 50, yeah. It's about slightly below the 50 on the daily chart. But, you know, the 50 is not a point; it's an area. You know, it's not necessarily going to just hit it to the penny. It could fall through it by 20 cents, 30 cents, or get down close to it. But basically, we're testing the SPY 50-day moving average again. Qs are testing the algo line, and the IWM is still fairly strong. It's wedged in. If you look at the IWM, you see this is why this is a tough one to trade now, because see, here's the 50 right here. It's stuck between the 50 and the 8 and the 15. The purple line is the orange line is the 15 EMA, and the red line right there is the 8, right together. So it's wedged in here. Very just sideways compression. Here's the SPY. There's the 50, the red line right there. It's right on it. Trying to go through it, up or down. We wait to see what it does before we do anything. And triple Q, you see the algo line I've got drawn right there. That's an algo. That's what the institutions use for support and resistance. Algo. It's got a support here on this white line, and then it's got support at the 50-day. So it's got quite a bit of support just below where it is right now. So again, this is just a wait and watch right now. You don't want to be diving into too many things. SPY bouncing off the 50-day again. Did that earlier this morning, right down here, around 569.30. So really, this is very indecisive action right now. The market's not really telling us where it's going to go or what it wants to do. So I took Adobe short. That thing has been very weak. Yeah, decent short setup on Adobe. I got a couple of horizontal support levels on it, but it's definitely weak. It's the gap. It is in a gap. It's in this gap right here. Comes down around there. Again, these are support levels I see on it. 475.31, 468.60. Definitely weak though.
An RDDT volume pop mentioned on CNBC by Josh Brown.
Here's Adobe Shy. That's the gap you're talking about right there. These are what I see for levels. 475.31, 468.60. I'd like to see it break below that 475.31. Left at 12 o'clock. Market kind of gotten weak here. All of a sudden everything's red for the day now. SPY down about almost 0.5%. Right on the 50-day moving average. Q's down about 0.4%. IWM is still green by 0.5%, but right against resistance. This is very tough trading here right now. So consequently, I'm just watching. Again, IP is holding up really nicely here on this market pullback. It's not even flinching to the downside. That's the one that had earnings last week. Microsoft weak here this morning. Apple weak this morning. Tesla pretty weak. IBM a little weak. Yeah, techs are pretty weak. Meta also weak right down to the 50-day moving average. Not much to touch here right now. Again, we took LYB short. It's trying to bounce again a little bit. Can't really trade anything here right now. Just kind of watching. Again, IPs is really holding up really nicely against this market drop. So is CLS for that matter. All right, gonna step away for just a minute. Be right back. All right, back online here. Just kind of watching the market. SPY bounced off the 50-day moving average, very close to the 50-day. Right here off of this pivot point, bouncing. The IWM did. I'm sorry. SPY over here, also bouncing. Triple Qs also bouncing. So we're just watching for setups here. IWM still up about 1% today. Q's down about a quarter of a percent. And SPY also down about a quarter of a percent. Okay, the only trade we've taken today, I took one SPY Super System trade off the Qs earlier today. Took back here this morning. Right here. Made about 30 cents on it, $30 a contract. Now it's come back down again. Just kind of watching it. I really don't want to touch it short right now. And just kind of watching the SPY and the Qs bouncing back up a little bit. NVIDIA holding up all right today, up about $2 right now. Again, welcome everybody on looking in on YouTube. Again, we just do that for an hour and a half a day, just to get people get familiar with, in case they're interested in the compass system I use right here, which is runs on thinkorswim. Again, this is a piece of software that gets loaded onto thinkorswim, identifies when institutions are buying, when they're selling, when they're neutral into trades, and we use that as one of our main criteria for finding high probability trade setups. As well as support and resistance levels, etc. But it's Again, it's a very, very good indicator of whether the institutions are buying or selling. We use the current time frame momentum right here. As you can see, it just went green. Blue and green is bullish, red and yellow is bearish. It just switched over to buying. But we've got the VWAP, the volume weighted average price, right here in the 5-minute chart. This is quite a strong resistance level, so we don't touch it long right now until we can see it get through there. And then we'd have room up to this dynamic compression zone right here. And this is a multi-time frame momentum. We use these together, and we're looking at trades to take overnight or longer, or even for the rest of the day. We look at them on the daily chart. The daily chart tells us whether they're buying or selling. If you look here, what's telling us on the SPY or the daily chart is bearish right now, coming off this big drop. And but I typically don't trade the SPY or the Qs. I sometimes will take a short-term swing in them, but generally I just trade them off the 5-minute chart as a part of the SPY super system. And the other trades we take are longer term. We just took LYB short this morning. If we look at LYB, you can see that it's on the daily chart, it's a nice short. Selling, see the institution's been selling this across the board. This thing is for a good long time. Really nice short setup on the LYB. I'm going to stop, get lunch in just a few minutes, and we'll stop the YouTube feed and put another 15 minutes or so, 10 or 15 minutes. If anybody on the YouTube feed has any questions, you can go ahead and put them into the question box there, chat box, and I'll try to answer them. Other than that, I'm going to again take lunch in just a little bit. Fresh Pet with a big move up here this morning. FRPT off of earnings up about 12.5%. Not one I'm going to chase, but it's a nice move. IWM bouncing back up again. Decent setup for the IWM right here, coming off the 15. The Qs you got to be really careful with, because you got his pivot point right here above the VWAP. then you get the pivot point. So this is your runway for the trade, which isn't an awful lot. Again, it's got to get above the VWAP. Right now it's running right into it. Again, that's for the SPY super system trade. Dow Chemical breaking down pretty hard today too. Pretty decent short setup on DOW. See it coming in right here. 5-minute chart, daily chart right here. Breaking down, selling across the board. No, Bob's noticed if a TOS web does not support custom studies, so Compass, you can't use it on a web. Okay, I don't know that. I've never tried to use it on the web. Like I said, you have to talk to the techs at Rightline, but they only let you do that on the one that's downloaded onto PCs, I guess. Appreciate the info, Bob. SPY coming right up to the VWAP here now. Q's as well. Q's got the getting above the VWAP, but it's got, look how close the pivot point is. Pivot point's right there. So not enough, to me, not enough room to try to take a trade on it. IWM bounced up off of the VWAP. Right, just kind of watching. I'm going to grab something to eat. Listen, I want to thank everybody who was viewing on YouTube today. See if you have any questions. Calvin, what are my thoughts on now? Let's service now. Let's see. Yeah, it's a decent long. Nice after earnings, but the volume seems lacking. Yeah, the volume is not great, but the chart is pretty good. I mean, I'm just looking at the technicals on the thing. Again, you can see the upward movement pullback, coming right up. It's following the 8 right along here. That's a decent long. You know, here's a bull flag right here. There's a volume with a little bounce to the to the upside here, but on reduced volume, you're basically looking for a breakout. Honestly, would be right here. This is what you're looking for it to break. Oops. That level right there. That's an algo for that price. So that's where you really want to see it get through. It's a nice setup though. Nice little PBO. A nice pullback opportunity. We had a pullback opportunity in GLW last week, but I see no confirmation here that it's above the 8, so can't really take it long right now. All right, so everybody, I'm going to get something to eat. And again, thanks everybody for watching on YouTube. And appreciate that. We do this we'll try to do this each day on YouTube for an hour and a half or so. So you can get familiar with the Compass system and our, how we trade high probability trade setups. That's all we look for. We've got about win rates between about 85 and 90, around 87% win rate. And I've had a good month in October, and we, like anybody, have losing months. But this is going into the 35th month right now. 34 completed months in the room in the alert service. 33 wins. No, 30. I'm sorry, 3 losses and 31 wins. 31 winning months, 3 little losing months. One was really small, like $285. But typically, we if you put 2,000 into each trade, we've had results of about between about 60 and 70,000 a year for profits if you put 2,000 into each trade. Again, not everybody's going to do that, and you're not going to do the same every time, but that's just a baseline for that. So anyway, thanks everybody for being here. I appreciate the folks on the YouTube feed, and we'll see you tomorrow.